And welcome to another Friday Night Watch Talk. I am joined here by my buddy Amin from Amin Reviews, who is a little chilly.
A
You a
little
little chilly there?
chilly here in the basement. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so is that where is that where the Amin Review Studios is
That's
located in
Amin
the
Review
basement?
Studios in the corner of the basement.
Yeah. My studio is ever changing. Sometimes
Mm,
it's mostly on the dining room table. Sometimes it's in the sun porch, but it's just too cold. And
yeah.
plus we're doing the bathroom, right? And they just started doing some work, but we've ordered some parts and all that kind of stuff. So
Mm,
like a lot of like the parts we're putting it, in the sun porch, because that's really the only place we can put it in at the moment. So this is the Bobby Leg Studio, so of course.
it's looking good.
Um, yeah, yeah.
You still
Still
got the
Christmas.
Christmas stuff
It's
up.
Christmas.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's gotta go. I think this is the last weekend, but it's gotta
Yes.
go. Just a lot of things going on, right?
Yep.
But that's life. So how you doing, bud? How was your week?
Doing pretty good. Yeah. TGIF for
Yeah,
real.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Long week.
yeah.
But
What do
good.
you what do you got on wrist?
I was wearing today Portugueser. I don't think I've
Oh,
worn this on your show in a while.
it's been. Let me get us all. Yeah, yeah. It has
Yeah.
been in a while. A few weeks ago, I was talking with some of our friends about your collection, and I could have sworn that um, that the Portugueser was gone,
Mm.
because you may have worked out a trade or whatever, and uh, and a couple of guys were like, no, he still has it. I'm like, oh, okay, because I just didn't see you wear a lot. I mean, you got some. I mean, that's a great watch, but you got a lot of
I
great
had
watches too.
3 IWCs and I'm
Yeah,
down to one. But
down to
this
one.
was the one that my wife got me, so
Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's don't get me wrong, I think about flipping it sometimes, but
yeah.
it would be probably not right.
Yeah. Hey, look, we are joined by Dapper Dib. You got a little button-down shirt there, bud?
Dapper Dib. That's a good one.
Look at that. Looking
How are you
good.
guys doing?
Look at the boyish charm going on
The
here.
boyish, I mean, like, he's got the boyish good looks. I
Yep.
mean, like, you know, so proud. We're so proud.
Dib, how
We're
old are
like,
you, Dib?
32.
32. Yeah.
to be
I'm
32,
old.
man.
I'm already in the threes.
Technically, he could be our son.
Oh,
Yeah, he could.
Not yours and mine, but yours or mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, he's our son. This is our son. I hate to break it to you over the stream.
Uh,
No. I mean, like, if I was like, yeah, I mean, I would have been 17. It's
yep,
quite possible.
it's quite possible.
Did Jody legs. Um, what, Dib, what do you have on wrist to see?
uh, I have my Lucerne Blue Christopher Ward.
Nice.
All right, what
Can we
do
see
you
that
have?
again?
One more time.
One more time, Dib.
I have the Lucerne
Yep.
Blue Christopher Ward
Yep.
Mm.
vest.
Yeah.
Homage to the homage, as some people like to say.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a big fan of Christopher Ward, but and it's a good brand. It's a good brand
What does
for
that mean,
sure.
homage to the homage?
I'm just, referencing, somebody who dissed me a couple of streams back. It's a homage, so it's a joke to that, but
Mm.
Is it a homage because of the color, because of the Tiffany color or the Lucerne color?
I don't know. Take your pick.
Okay.
How many reasons do you need to start a fight on YouTube?
You're right. You're right. Okay. No problem. Hey, I got the Seiko SPB 149 here.
That's a good
Decided
one.
decided to give the 107, the Toppers collab, a break. I've had it on wrist for about a week now. I just love that watch. It's my favorite Seiko of all time now, so I wanted to switch up and put this on here for the day, because I thought maybe this might be on the chopping block, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. These Seiko divers, these reissues, they're so good. I mean, they're so good.
The good thing is there's plenty of them out there. Like
Absolutely.
if you want to sell, you bought it at a decent price, so
Yeah.
you're not going to lose any money. You're
Yeah.
good to
A-
go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Plus you have a Super Seiko coming in, like that trumps everything, you know.
Hey, nobody, no, that's a little bit of a secret, but yeah, but we won't discuss which one it is.
Super
Um,
Seiko.
yeah, it's a Super Seiko. And I'm hoping I'm supposed to get it next Thursday, according to DHL, but I'm hoping for a sooner timeline, of course, because I'm impatient. But I'm really, really excited about that one. I'm really, really, really excited, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. I mean, I'm not going to let you guys have it. I mean, sharing like I'm going to, show it. Uh, let's say hello to the chat, shall we? Mountain Standard Time's here. Hey, he's wearing a polo tonight. Good on you, Rob. And you are watching the menu. I've heard Big Riss is a fan of that. Is it a movie?
It's a
Um,
good movie. I'd recommend everybody to see it. I think it's on HBO Max too. If
oh,
you
okay, I
don't
have it.
go, go out
Yeah,
and watch it in the theater.
yeah. Is it kind of like what's what type of is it like action? Oh, it's obviously
It's
not
a it's
action,
a
right?
it's a thriller movie
Okay,
with little bit of humor in it,
okay,
but it's dark humor.
okay.
So
Good.
definitely, if you're a movie lover,
Yeah.
you're gonna like it.
Yep. And James, he's rewatched it. He rewatched it last night. Hey, Mr. Finney, how are you? Good to see you. Bill K is here. Chaz, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. Bruno is here. Hey, Bruno. Um, Chaz is wearing the Pam 111 tonight. Very, very nice. Justin is strapped in as always. Sympathy for the bezel. You guys are ready to get this started? I think that's a Ronnie Munn quote from the Howard Stern show. I think maybe I'm wrong. Um, let's see here. Wilson's here. Hey, Wilson. Good to see you. Keith, my man. How are you? Keith is here. Steve is here. Time Hill. How are you doing? BJ's here. What's going on? Wolfgang, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, the Wolfie's here for sure. Um, he's taking his claim to all of South Florida. Yeah, Wolfie is the man for sure.
While sitting
Smoke.
on a throne in the restroom.
Yeah, smoking a cigar. Caliber is here. How you doing, Caliber? Good to see you. Uh, Wolfie, thank you for the super chat. The Dib Watch Fund. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Dib, you'll get that in a form of a Panera gift card. Justin R. is saying Bobby stays in the Christmas tree. I do. I do. It's just fun to stay in the Christmas tree. Hey, Ken Spears checking in from Pittsburgh. How you doing? Oh, Jazz with a super chat. I have a fever, and the only cure is more Dib. Dib, Dib, you are a very popular addition to the stream. People love you, and we love you. You know,
Thank
we
you.
love you like a son. Um, Hobby Bobby's here. Hey, my fault. I've forgotten to take the decorations down. Yeah, I mean, Hobby Bobby is really slipping with the being the intern. He's supposed to be on here, going through the chat for me. He's supposed to be taking down this. Like, I had to get my own tea tonight. Um, I got to have a talk with Hobby. Um, Wilson coining the phrase Amin geezer for. I don't know if I like that
Yeah, that doesn't sound so good.
one. Joey B's here, and he is rooting for his Eagles, and he would like to see Steve's Bengals also make it to the Super Bowl. Those games will be decided over the weekend. Um, Joey B said, "I really think Amin should have worn the." I don't know if Amin's ever going to wear that watch on the stream again. Watch Medicine Bobby here is saying breaking news: bad okra interferes with YouTube streaming from Georgia. Details to follow. Interesting, interesting. Um, Wilson loves some okra. I think that's referring to you, Dib. Did you have some bad okra?
No,
Is
I
that what?
mean, I mean, essentially, I'm cooking. I was chopping. So I was weeding out the bad okra from the good okra. So
How could so? I've only like handled okra maybe once or twice in my whole life. I didn't really find it appetizing. How do you know the difference between good okra and bad okra?
Feel, I
I
guess,
feel, yeah.
practice.
So, do you want a firm okra or do you want a really soft okra? Like, what is
It has to be just right.
it? Just it has to be okay. So, but do you want it more like
It it
hard?
it should not be too hard because
Right.
that means that it's aged. So you're not gonna
Okay.
get this taste.
Okay. So as opposed to like like most like fruits or vegetables, like when it's aged, it kind of like gets soft and mushy. It's the
Mm.
opposite with okra. It gets
I
hard.
I think so. I think so.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now, do you chop it up or do you cook it whole? Like, I'm
I chop it up. I don't cook it
yeah,
whole. Fry it a little bit. And then
chili, little chili.
I'll give you the recipe later. It's
No, no,
not
I'm just I'm
difficult.
I'm just trying like the times I've eaten it, it was just like it was god awful, right? But but I would think like,
If it's cooked well, it's really nice. If
okay,
it's not cooked well, it's really awful. That's been my
okay.
experience with.
Maybe that's what maybe I've had some bad okra. Maybe that's the deal. Okay, all right, that's fine.
I don't
Um,
like okra.
no, no, yeah,
I like almost every food, every vegetable. Okra, I don't think so.
yeah.
Maybe
You know
if it
what?
was prepared the right way.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a puffer fish, right? You got to prepare a certain way, otherwise you die.
Yeah.
You know, you know. Um, yeah, I think so. Like, I could definitely for sure tell you that I don't like it. I'm with you, Amin. I like most all vegetables. Some more than others, and the same thing with fruit. I tell you, there's only been like one food that I just flat out refused to eat when I saw it, right? Without even trying it. And me and Mrs. Legs had gone. This is when we were dating. We had gone to Belgium and France. We took a little trip, and on the tail end of the trip, right before we leave, we were in Belgium in Brussels, and we went out to a restaurant, and she ordered frog's legs appetizer, and I was like, okay, I mean, I was game, right? But when they came out, like they were like skinned and they were just like the whole body of the frog, and it was like impaled on a skewer like this, with it looked like a tiny human, right? That had been skinned and skewered, and I was just like, nope, nope, no, thank you,
That's
nope,
horrible.
yeah, yeah,
Imagine
that's
if you were watching Game of Thrones while eating that. Oh, lovely. You get to see it and you get to eat it.
yeah, yeah, right, right, right. Dib, have you ever seen something you just like flat out refused?
Oh, plenty of things, but
Okay,
I'm very picky when it comes to food, but
okay, yeah. Uh, just to say, man, we really went weird right off the bat. Sure. Time Hill, we're into Yachtmaster tonight. Hey, Ms9. Oh no, Joyce B is saying hello to Ms9. I think I missed Ms9, but we'll catch up to Ms9 soon. KR Joy's here. How are you? XYZ777 wearing his SPB 143 homage by Tudor. So I guess the blue Black Bay 58, I guess. Um, Michael B wearing Nomos Orion. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Um, Mezdine wearing the BB 58 tonight. Uh, Blancpain Air Command for Mr. Finney. Very nice. Very, very nice. Ken Spear wearing the Orient Kamasu and Lako B tonight.
Schwarzkopf, right?
Yep.
That's how you say it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Channeling the inner TGV, you know.
Yep.
Oh, and Mac.
Dominic is driving home from work wearing the 60th anniversary Carrera armrest. Very nice. Very nice. Bobby saying Wolfgang is contractually obligated to show his mayor on the stream. Use that card at any time. Yeah, Wolfie, usually when he comes to North America, he comes on the stream, but he's denied a couple of requests to come on.
Oof.
And yeah,
I,
I don't
I I
know.
think I think Chaz's shipment of Triactin to Florida, did not reach
Did
in
not,
time.
did not arrive. Hey, Nerio, what's going on? Good to see you. Um, Okra can be a bit slimy. Yeah, that's exactly what my experience was. It was absolutely, it was
Slimy.
all slimy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
no, no.
Luby's fried okra is amazing. Luby's cafeteria is so quiet you can actually hear smashed potatoes even in heaven. Big Riss is with me. Um, Okra is like porridge to dib. Has to be just right. hmm He's the Goldilocks. Um, Kevin S. Breaking watch news: new Okra release at Watches and Wonders.
I think it's a signal that we have wasted enough
Yeah,
time
yeah,
talking.
yeah. I
Okay,
think we
okay,
gotta
okay,
go to
okay. All right,
watches.
all right.
We are
Let's get to
17
watches.
Well
minutes in.
said, Bib.
Okay, sorry, guys. I'm just catching. This is where the intern would come through, right? Like speeding this along. But Hobby Bobby, I don't know. Hey,
Uh,
Chris is here. How you doing, Chris? Okay. So let's jump into it. Let's say hello to the Canadian Watch Monkey. How you doing, sir? Um, there was a release this week, right? I mean, there was a nice little release. Um,
there were a couple of
there were a
releases,
couple. There were a
and I'm,
couple.
I'm excited for the Longines. I mean, I never thought I'd say it, but I think I finally found one which I would buy.
Oh, okay. We'll hit up on that, but let's talk about this new Omega Speedmaster, the Super Racing, with a new movement, a movement that is in celebration of the 10th anniversary of this master chronometer certification that Omega does with their movements, and so I have some thoughts. Dib, what do you think about this release? Where are you on this one?
I think it's a huge step forward. It's a really good innovation, and I think this is all about bragging rights, right? And you have the system. The watch is expensive compared to what it used to be 4 years ago, but
hmm
look at a Daytona. Nearly impossible to get $15,000. You get an excellent movement which is meta certified, and now the spired system. You can adjust the spring 0 to 2 seconds a day.
Yeah.
That's almost getting close to spring drive territory. I think this gives Omega massive bragging chops. Like, again, it all depends when they can actually deliver the watch. People are
Right.
saying this is going to be December, but once other models get this movement,
hmm
I, I
hmm
I I don't think this racing, like if I were Omega, I'd release it in a fancy ceramic watch. That's what
Yeah.
I would have done. Make it look more appealing. But
Right.
again, I mean, I'm not dictating Omega, but once they reach that those watches like the gray side of the moon, the
hmm
dark side of the moon, I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in your thoughts.
I think the innovation is very cool. Is awesome. Like they're sort of. I mean, their movements are already incredible. Like the coaxial escapement is such a great innovation, and then through through their use of silicon materials, they have basically class leading anti-magnetic magnetic resistance, and
Mm-hmm.
now they're adding basically the best timing accuracy by anybody, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're just, I mean, it's awesome. I think this watch for me is an eyesore. Like
Mm.
like
hmm
I flinch when I see this watch. I think it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Um, but that's, I think, very. First of all, other people like the way this watch looks, so that's just a taste thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's unimportant compared with. I mean, if they start putting this in every watch, I've heard some people say, that it locks you into getting your services with Omega, and I think that's, I don't see that as a downside. And actually the fact that they can regulate it, or they should be able to regulate it at your Omega boutique or Omega AD without having to send it in for any kind of service, um, is a big plus to me, even though I don't care that much about timing. Just, there's some people that do. And when a watch is super accurate, then I guess I would like it to be at spec, and they should be able to do it sending it anywhere else. So, and yeah, I think, when this rolls, like if they had put this into, if they came out with a new Planet Ocean that they managed to make a little bit thinner, maybe than the existing Planet Ocean, and then put this in, I mean, what could you say about it?
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
would have the best diver, like the classically. I mean, of course, your taste still comes into the picture, whether you like it or not, of course. But it would be like unassailable.
I this is my assumption. So you have, like, for example, you have the regular Aquaterra line, you have the regular Seamaster line. I don't think this is going to filter into those watches, but definitely, let's say with precious metal, or the Seamaster with the ceramic case, anything a little bit more upscale than the standard watches, I think will get this Spyret, attached and, integrated into the existing movement. And that, I think, gives Omega, like, again, I'm not going to say it's value for money, because it's not. It's a, multiple $1,000 watch, but compared to what, let's say an OP41 versus an Aquaterra or a Datejust, I mean, tech wise, Omega is, I mean, there's not, I mean, they just moved like two or like even five places ahead.
Yeah.
Cost, again, is an issue, but again, we don't know. We are just speculating, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the common complaint here, is that the price of point of this watch is pretty high, and I think it's because most people expect that a lower price point for this Omega Speedmaster Racing line, right? I know they dabbled up and put out some higher end versions of the models in the past, but I think it's just a curious choice to me, to put this new technology, this new movement in this particular watch. I would have expected more, for a something with a ceramic case, like you had mentioned, Dib, like something like a gray side or a dark side of the moon. But I think it's prepping us, right? So this is an $11,000 watch. They're gonna those gray side and dark sides are probably gonna be like a $15,000 watch, right? I mean, they're just moving up the price point, on it. So I think this was just kind of like them
I,
serving this and getting us used to this price point, and then they're gonna
I,
raise it.
I mean, anyhow, they're raising the price, right, on Feb
Yeah.
1st.
Anyhow. Right.
So I only know this because I saw a reel on Instagram, Minuteman from
Yeah.
Carrot and Co. He posted. So there's a $400 increase for the Speedy Sapphire Sandwich,
Hmm.
72 to 76. They're gonna go to 10 grand. I mean,
Yeah.
like, let's give them 2 more years.
Yeah.
Unless and until the economic collapses,
Yeah.
they're gonna keep raising prices,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I agree with you, and I think this particular watch it's great, right? I mean, like, it's a matter of taste whether you like the design or not. I still probably would take a pre-owned Sapphire Sandwich 3861 over this, though. You know what I mean? Like, for the price, if I can get that watch like in the low fives or five, I mean, this is a big jump. This is a big jump to 11,000. You know, for me. So this is probably a model or a direction that I wouldn't go with anyway. I mean, I am impressed with the technology. I think it's great, and it's definitely a flex by Omega, and it's good to see. But for me, it's just too much. It's just too much. You know. Bobby's saying the Omega movement is superior to the Rolex movement. In a nutshell, I would put the movement in other models. The Spyrate may be a concern for price increase. Is that the nickname of this one, the Spyrate? Is that
Yes.
what they're
It's
going with?
the name of
Spirit,
It's
whatever.
a
it's the name
system.
of the adjustment
Oh,
system.
okay, okay. The coaxial movement locks you into Omega anyway. No, that's true. The only way Amin would like this watch less was if the chrono band had a red tip.
I
Uh,
mean, this watch to me is honestly, I can't use any other word, an eyesore, with this whole scheme.
mm,
Imagine red. I'm like, oh my God. It's like,
yeah.
so
I saw
this is,
one picture of this watch where it looked cool. So
Hmm.
it could be in the wrist or in person.
Yeah.
It's a different
Could be.
impression,
Yeah.
but
There's
it's mostly ugly.
there's several Omega models that when I saw in person I was blown away, and I wasn't blown away by pictures and whatnot. So, I'll reserve my right the right to change my mind about this one. Um, in regards to the way it looks, right? I'm not a big fan, but seeing it in person could definitely change that. Dan is saying not for anyone with trypophobia.
I don't I mean, I don't really know, but I'm guessing that this Spirate adjusting technology is not going to raise the prices a huge amount. Like when you compare this to previous um, Speedmaster Racing, like they're also much older, right?
Hmm.
There's been a
True.
lot.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole market has gotten a lot more expensive since those watches, and
Hmm.
there's been a lot of inflation. So I don't think the delta between this and the old racing Speedmaster means that that same delta is going to be applied to
Yeah.
the Planet Ocean if it gets this technology.
Mm. And those racing, I mean, it's really a much different watch. It's a smaller watch than
Yeah,
this, right? You
yeah,
know, um, so I mean,
yeah.
it just seems like a reboot of that.
Honestly, my hope for Omega is to reduce the size of their movement. That would be ideal for
Yeah,
almost everything they
yeah,
have. And
absolutely.
again, it's a massive ask. It's not easy. It takes millions of dollars to do that. But if they can, let's say they bring out a 42 millimeter Planet 2. I think 42 is a very good size,
Mm,
which fits most wrists,
mm-hmm,
just because of the lyre lug design.
mm-hmm,
Like the lugs are not that long, so even skinny people can wear it like me.
mm,
So if they can come out with that, I think it's a game changer.
yeah,
Again, like that word has become a bit cliche, but it's good.
we know what you
It's
meant. We know what you
it's
mean. Yeah.
really good.
Rob saying here, too big, too expensive. None of my want list, but props to the accuracy. I think I feel the same way as you, Rob. Kevin S. 11K. Um, XYZ777 saying, I think the Planet Ocean is due. Last update was 2017, and Omega does mid-cycle updates more often than most brands historically. Chaz is saying, my only complaint with the new Speedy Racing is the price tag. Yeah. Um,
I
only
mean,
matters if they actually put some in the boutiques, right? That's the other thing, right?
late 2023. That was what I heard from my friend. So if they made a Planet Ocean in titanium, oh my God, like with a decent size,
Hmm.
I mean,
yep.
that would be awesome because again, I don't take enough triactin, so I don't like heavy watches.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if we get that triactin in like liquid form, you could take a little
Mhm.
tablespoon like I do with my kids. Like, ooh, here
Yeah,
comes the plane, and maybe,
exactly.
yeah, okay. Um, Frank V, don't like the yellow. The red one looked better. Um, Kevin S, I'd go with Moonwatch, more classic styling, and I prefer the manual wind movement of the 3861. Um, BJ, I believe the use those colors as a nod to the Omega Bumblebee for swatch resistant to 15 Gauss. Um, it's all about the movement, and this is definitely a sports watch. I think the tech is going to trickle down to a lot of models. Yeah, like Dip said, I hope you're right. Um, if they can get that moving a little smaller. But what is the water resistance? Let's ask some real questions. How is this hand washing action with this bad boy? I think it's 50 meters, right? 50 meters water resistance, which is like, right, par for the course for.
I swam in a dirty river with a 30-meter water resistant watch. I'm like, it's fine.
Are you talking about the Ganges?
Oh, all right, shoot.
No, no. What's so funny? It was just a question.
Yes, and then
Okay.
we can move on to watches instead of
Yeah, yeah,
going
yeah, yeah. No, no,
on.
no. I was just. Come on. I mean, I'm curious. I like finding these little tidbits about you, Dip. That
Okay.
that tech will be in every single Omega soon, fully industrialized product. Won't cost much per unit, raises brand equity, as already mentioned. And the obligatory question: does it hack?
Yes, it does.
Everybody will forget about this watch in 2020. I don't know. I don't know, Kevin. I don't know if everybody will forget about it.
No, Kevin's right on the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Okay. They need to update the Globemaster before the PO.
Yeah,
Um, well,
I'd like to see some updates to that watch. Definitely.
I think, Ahmed, you had tried on the calendar, Globemaster, right?
Yeah,
And
loved
that loved it.
loved it. I wish it had. I have one small complaint, which is the same I have for the Sky Dweller, which is that I wish it had the day on it.
Hmm.
It just has the month and the date.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, obviously, it's a whole different watch. For some reason, there's like no annual calendar sporty kind of water resistant watches that have the day, the date, and the month.
Yeah.
Um, except probably Ulysse
Yeah.
Nardin. But I think the Glowmaster is awesome. The
I,
annual calendar, I like it a lot.
I love the way it looked. I had the same complaint that our friend Oil Money had about that watch, and now
Mm,
Oil Money has, just to give some context, I think he has like an 8-inch wrist, right?
mm,
Maybe slightly more, and I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and we both found it that it sat on our wrist very awkwardly. The If I recall, the lugs are very straight on that.
mm.
There's not much of a count. It doesn't really
Curve,
angle down or
angle
curve
down.
down or
Yep.
hug the wrist as much. And I think if that's the update that they do,
Mm,
um, that's a great, to me, that's a almost perfect watch,
mm.
I I,
because I
I
love
Love
the
think
way it looked. Yeah,
I
go ahead,
think the
Dip.
new Speedmaster 57
Mm-hmm.
kind of solves that because it's a manual wind instead of the automatic.
mm,
So it's noticeably less thick than the
mm,
Gen 1. Definitely. Even I can wear it even though it has straight lugs. So they have worked their magic, with the bracelet and the case. And I just feel the Speedmaster 57 trumps the older, uh, the Speedmaster. What's it called? The racing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know the one I'm talking about, the straight lugs. Oh boy.
Let's get a solo dip
Oh.
shot here. This
Mm,
before let me introduce it. So introducing the Grand Seiko Evolution 9 Spring Drive 5-day Lake
mm.
Sua SLGA 021G. Can we get a solo dib here?
Why?
Okay. Let's see here. Solo on Dip.
Solo on dib.
Why?
Dib, what do you think of that watch? The new Grand Seiko.
In a vacuum, it's a good watch, but what the hell are they doing? They ruin. I mean, call it Lake Shinjuku, Lake Akina. I mean, I don't know. Give a different name. It's just cannibalizing their own watches, depriving the original 2021 customers of the exclusivity that they were promised. Honestly, I like this better than the original Lake Suwa. I don't know. It's stupid. Like why call it that? Or better yet, you're releasing the white birch in the spring drive and the high beat. Should have released this watch too. So this is the after dark Lake Suwa. That's the morning Lake Suwa. There you go. Your season's criteria is met. You can tell a bullshit story about a lake nobody cares about and sell some watches. But now, in 2 months' time, this Lake Suva will be available for $65 to $7,000, 6,500 or $7,000 brand new from gray market dealers who have to buy watches to get their Rolex supply up as a filler. That's
Is
all it
this
is.
is it the same dial pattern as the first Lake Sua?
The dial pattern looks to be similar, but I
Yeah.
think the color is deeper.
Mm,
Kevin saw it in the watch, in the Grand Seiko boutique. It's
mm,
definitely much darker than the original.
We're
So
all happy to see Paul back. I thought that was Caliber, but it's
now Paul's
I thought
here.
YQG was hiding as XYZ, but it's Paul. So happy to see Paul here.
And again, I mean, like the strategy, the corporate direction that they're taking is so annoying because I traded my Blue Iwate for a new Grand Seiko that's coming next week. This will be my ninth Grand Seiko, and I mean, like as a supporter of the brand, I just feel like somebody's slapping me in the face, and I can do whatever I want. I mean, it's just super frustrating. And
Dib, your eyes look so sad. You know when you're
Especially
talking
that
about,
last line. It's just he had that forlorn looking off in the distance when he said it's
yeah.
just super frustrating. That's a good one for
It's
a
like
crop.
how the Dallas Cowboys fan feel whenever they lose a match, but they say they're gonna win, right? Am I using that analogy correctly?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't have used the word match. I used game, but pretty close. Pretty close.
This is a nice looking watch.
It is. I mean, I like this
I'm
watch. It's a really nice watch.
I'm sure it's a
It,
Yeah.
nice lake too.
Also a nice lake.
Yeah.
all right. How many watches can we make as I mean, you guys as Americans? Like, there's like 50,000 lakes in the country, probably. Take a
Mm,
lake, start dumping water, or start dumping, inspiration, and there you have it.
yeah. We Westerners.
Yeah.
This dial color looks very much like the SBGA 469, the Katsuhiro. So again, I really want to see it in person to see how it is, but like this photo gives me that Katsuhiro vibes.
You know, I mean, we Americans, we don't appreciate our lakes as much. I think
That,
that's what it comes
that's
down
true.
to.
That's a good
We
point.
take our lakes for granted. You know. Um, yeah. Should have used Bimtal Lake. Are you?
How the hell do you know that?
I think I think I think it's called Google, and I think that's there's like 50,000 lakes in Minnesota
I mean,
alone,
I
man.
just pulled a number, out of this blue. I mean, obviously there will be more. It's just I don't
10,000
know.
lakes.
The disappointment is, I mean, and again, I wrote a very salty post on my Instagram,
I love that.
Yeah,
tagged Joe Kirk and said,
yeah,
good luck, thank you for pulling this stunt. Thank you for, letting me take this watch brand new for $6,000 on the secondary market.
yeah.
You and your ilk are destroying the brand I love, you know,
How do you know that he saw it?
because you can see who saw your,
Oh,
story. So
that's
I
awesome.
did see.
Yeah.
I think Wisconsin has more lakes than Minnesota. I think I read that somewhere. Um, Shinola should do a Great Lakes series. Wilson saying just Michigan and Minnesota alone have 22,000 lakes.
I'm trying to place these lugs, guys. I've seen them on other watches. Is it the Minasi watches have lugs like this?
It's a mixture of the Menage and the Conde Vache. Vacheron.
Carnivage for sure. Yep.
I think it's a combo. Like
I
I
it's
feel
like
like
not.
I've seen that on a Parmigiani.
it's that kind of thing on a Parmesan. I guess yeah, I like the look. I mean, I don't know about the dial, but the case with those lugs and this thing, I don't know. It kind of works for me. This one.
Bobby saying we thank you for the super chat, Bobby. We Americans should nominate a Budweiser. Oh, GS. Okay.
I didn't realize I was sharing screen on the stream. I didn't mean to abruptly change
No, 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 no. It's
topics
absolutely
like
okay.
that.
No, no, you're helping me out. Don't worry.
Okay.
Kevin asked Google, what is the most popular lake in India?
I don't know. Don't ask me that question.
I kind of like this.
I'm not a big fan of the subdials being different
Mm,
colors.
yeah.
The intern. Oh, look who showed up to work today. David, chat is asking for your thoughts on Handsome Rob. Can you
Uh,
tell
I,
us who Handsome Rob is?
uh, uh, Kevin told me about it. Like some, I think the dude who runs the Grand Seiko chapter, or he works for Grand Seiko, based out of London. I think. I think his name is Rob Brooks. So he has a YouTube channel, I think, and supposedly he was known as Handsome Rob before he started working for Grand Seiko. Yeah, but he's quite a handsome gentleman. Have to admit that.
This Grand Seiko Budweiser, inspired by the overflowing urinals at Lincoln Field Financial Field.
I'll tell you this. I saw the Longines that came out today. It's on monochrome.
Mm.
A rose gold 18 karat watch for 4,000 euros.
Where is this? Where on monochrome?
It's there. What's it?
Here. This?
Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's for $4,000, a 38 millimeter watch, less than 10 millimeters thick. Oh, I mean, that's as affordable a dress watch as you can get. On a this watch is gonna turn me into a Longines buyer.
That's a good looking watch. Paul saying, little known fact, Handsome Rob is neither handsome or a Rob.
Wow, it's that price. It's a solid gold, 18 karat gold pink
Yeah,
jewel case.
I'll take an ETA movement any day. I mean, look
Is
at that.
Wow.
that is a good looking watch. Is it a limited or is it
I honestly don't know. I haven't
Permanent
done that.
collection. Nothing about
wow,
limited.
wow.
See, 20% off, 3 grand for a solid gold watch. Now
Yeah,
that is
it's
value.
surprising.
That is value.
Yeah. Jeans coming in hot.
The movement is a solid movement, nothing to complain about. You know?
Sanjay not a big fan of the four on this one.
Oh, Sanjay, come on. You can forgive the four for the money.
This is like a Sanjay watch though, right? Like I could see him getting this piece or not.
I can't remember any solid gold watch coming in at this price.
The price is what it's like we literally pay 4 grand for a Bell and Ross
Yeah.
or a Zen, like one of the more
Yeah.
expensive Zen.
Very true.
I mean, I think it's a amazing value proposition. I wish they had gone hand winding here.
Solid case back. Oh yeah, hand winding would be
Or
good too.
solid, but hand winding
Yeah,
would
hand
have
winding
been very cool.
would have been very cool on this one
Would
for
have
sure.
been the
Mm,
killer
I agree.
move.
Or you know what? And this may be a little too much to ask, but if you're gonna do a automatic movement and you're gonna put a big rotor like that on there,
Mhm.
make it gold. Just
Yeah.
keep it going. Make that gold.
I think Michael Nauer is right that it's less expensive because it's a very thin case and there's not a lot of metal to this here, but still, like
Good point.
a lot of gold watches have a thin bezel and not a lot of metal, and I never seen one at this price point.
It,
And
it it's
It's still a solid gold watch.
it's a solid gold watch. Okay.
18 karat. It's not like a 10 karat. It's not plated. It's not capped.
James is saying that his Credo was 4K, and it is one hell of a risk buying it from Japan. His gold Credo.
Pre-owned, I've seen this kind of price
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
gold
yeah, yeah,
watch
yeah, yeah.
occasionally, but not new.
not. I mean, again, the price point. Like, it's a paper thin case, fine, but who gives you this watch in this day and age
Yeah,
from a
yeah.
major manufacturer?
Yeah.
This might be the Longines which turns me. I'll just get it as a cheaper, dress watch.
Yep. It's great.
Yeah, and if anybody doubts, like pre-owned, you can get these watches for around that point or a little bit low. I mean, on Del Rey watch, what's his name? Federico had a 18 karat gold Gerard Perregaux Ferrari three hander that couldn't move for months for under $4,000. So you can get them for sure, but new, that's that's pretty impressive.
9 millimeters thick. Case size is perfect.
Mm.
This is compelling.
I mean, this is like a great little dress watch, man.
Yeah,
You don't have to
absolutely.
like spend like 10 grand on a Tonda, a pre-owned. You
Yep.
know, if you're only gonna wear it every once in a while. I mean, yeah, the horology on a PF is you can't compare it. I mean, the Longines you can't compare it to, but I mean, still, so what?
And
Little three hander.
the matte silver effect to the dial, just a tiny bit of like texture to it. It looks great.
It's very well done. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw it today in the evening, and I'm like, I'm in love. I've never
Yeah.
said that about Longines. People know that. I know I ruffled some feathers by saying Longines and Oris are in the same boat, but that's just to me. I mean, I consider them as a brand I wouldn't buy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the two brands are similar. Nowhere close. Longines has a excellent history. Far better than Oris.
Beans
This
and
picture,
bezels just tuned in. Where is Dib's beard? Where did it go?
I sent some to you so that you could wear it.
you know what? It's I wonder if it's related to any kind of dating advice. I'll just leave it at that.
No, no, it's not.
Uh, it might be. You never know. This young generation. Um, you can see it's almost the numbers look like they're they're there's some what do you call it? Depth to them too,
Mm.
right? It's nice. I like it.
So you're not printed on it, they're more applied, you think?
I don't think they're applied, but
Mm.
the way in
Or
which
painted
they're
on?
put on there, they have a little bit of 3D effect,
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
think
yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, I've seen this type of font on, there's an independent one. I mean, it's probably been around for a while and other brands have used it, but recently there's an independent, German independent, Thomas Ninkrist,
Mm.
and he uses this type of font on some of his models. Very, very cool. Gives it that classic feel, and I guess that's what they're going with here. I wonder though, right off the bat, that crown looks very, very small.
Yep.
How tedious it will be
It will be a
to
little
wind a
bit.
watch.
I
Yeah,
think 100. Maybe that's the reason why they added the automatic
Automatic.
rotor.
Yeah.
yeah.
That would be a pain to wind, and I mean I have
Yeah.
skinny fingers.
If they
Yeah.
made it manual, they wouldn't have done the crown that way.
Right, right. At least they give you a little divot in the back. It looks like of the case where you can, get your. No, maybe not. Okay, I thought it looked like that, but I think it's.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's doable.
Yeah, man. I've been going gaga over this watch ever since
Yeah.
I saw it, especially the price point. If this was steel, probably I wouldn't be so
Oh yeah,
interested in it.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I'm with you, Deb. The fact that this is gold and its price point, it makes it very, very interesting.
Yeah. And some of the photos look really good.
Hmm.
I agree.
Does the Longines have a dial defect or a hair on the dial above the 11?
I saw a hair. I thought it was on the crystal.
Oh, that's interesting.
I did see that in one of the pics. I thought it was on the crystal. This. Maybe that's what he
Oh,
said. I saw something else. It could be a prototype too. Longines, you're getting pretty clean dials on Longines. I never
Yeah,
seen one
but
with problems.
just just to balance it out, and I think Michael and Wilson also said it. The rotor is going to be loud.
Mm.
that's never bothered me.
Yeah, me either.
I had a Valjo. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Broke watch fanatic plugging a Jeanneau sound service. Is it a placeholder for the Submariner?
Sorry, did you want us to hold a silent service because you own a Gino? I don't know. Dude, buy, I mean, again, I'm not going to tell you what to buy, but I wouldn't buy that. There are multiple Seikos out there, multiple Orients out there, multiple micro brands out there who do great work. Uh, no, it's not, to answer your question.
Tip with the hot take.
Hot
Um,
take.
the Longines flagship is rose gold. In rose gold was pretty tempting for me a couple years ago. That's a good looking watch. Wow. Okay, I didn't even. I just scrolled right past it. I didn't even notice. Thanks for pointing that out, Dip. Really appreciate it. The Jeanneau brings out the fiery Indian spices in Dip.
Let's look at this Jeanneau. Jeanneau silent service.
Yeah,
I don't know, I mean, again, it's
Is this? Oh, this is the one we were talking about the other day.
it got a pretty good review from our friend Watch Chris.
Okay.
Just speaking upon just the quality of the watch itself, forgetting about the homage thing. Said the watch was
quality. I mean, it
very, very
looks
well.
really nice. It
Yeah,
looks really nice, but knowing the history of the brand, I wouldn't touch it. It
yeah.
looks really nice, and it probably is. Probably, it will get you close to a Submariner 100%, if you think of it that way. But I'd rather buy a broken ass Seiko than touch this. Sorry.
Tell us
Uh,
why, Dib. What's the history of the brand?
I don't know. The owner of the Gino brand, I think he did Rolex copies literally. Probably got in trouble and then started making homages. That's the
You
story
mean
I
fake?
hear.
Jeanneau made fake Rolexes. The guy.
I I would think so before. I mean, these are all, you can use the word homages, but I think that was the case. It's
it's a
just I wouldn't associate myself. I mean, I'd rather buy a Timex than buy a Gino.
Mm.
There are Zens, there are Damascos, excellent divers. You want a pilot's watch, get it. No, I just can't do it.
Hmm.
Like
a
if any
couple of the
YouTuber
guys are
wants,
saying that's fake Rolex manufacturer turned micro brand pretty much.
Let's add allegedly to the description
yes,
here
allegedly,
for
yes.
Mr. Leg's stream.
Yes, they
Allegedly.
made replicas.
Huh. I mean, this looks like a premium parts bin watch. Like it's like one step beyond slapping together some. I don't know.
So I know two people locally who have the Gino, and
Yeah.
they say it's an excellent watch, and I have to keep my mouth shut because obviously face to face,
Hmm.
other than an internet troll. Uh, I just can't do it. I mean, if there's that much history associated with the brand where they used to make fake Rolexes, no. And these are not cheap. These are not cheap. These are
Yeah.
expensive. These are like $1,200, $1,300.
Mm.
So why would you do that? But again, you do you. Think of me as a snob, but that's what I am, especially when it comes to these watches. If you want to buy it, please go ahead. I just don't like them.
I like when Dib comes in hot.
Hot like a Indian spice. Those are
Monta
Bean's
watches,
words.
Monta has great divers, like their watches are great. Original, everything's built to an excellent price point.
Brent says he owns two. I believe the OR2s are Ocean Rover 2s. I think
Good.
that's the brand, and they are the closest to the build quality of my Submariner.
This is what I don't understand. Sorry, Brent, I'm not singling you out, but you have the means to buy a Submariner. Why do you want that Gino? Like, I don't understand. I mean, if you can tell that to me, that would be lovely. I'm genuinely asking that question. Why would you do
Uh,
that?
Big Bear says preach. Hmm.
Montas, the designs don't do it for me. I hear good things about their quality too.
Yeah, I mean it's the same way. They are a bit flat for me.
Mm.
I'd rather have a Formex or a Christopher Ward, um, or a Seiko for that matter.
Brent says he owns many brands and he likes them. He just likes them.
All right.
It's fair.
It's
Fair
fair.
enough.
Want to take a look at that Synchron?
Sure.
Um,
I'm
okay.
doing Hobby Baba Booey's job here. We
Yeah,
need the real
I
Hobby
know,
Baba
I know.
Booey.
And I think we need to have a talk with him
Yeah.
um,
I hope you're not paying him.
offline. Well, we're paying him with notoriety. We're gonna make him more famous than us. You know?
I really like the Synchron, and I was close to buying it, but then their website kind of took a dump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
But then like, look, I mean, this looks like a Doxa to me, right? I mean, like, so why not get a Doxa?
I think the reason why I would like to get this, and I still haven't, I don't think I will. I was pretty influenced when I saw the photos. It's just because Synchron was an actual, like they have real history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the history part kind of sways me, to get this. That's all.
Okay.
I don't think there's a very good argument that why are you buying this over a Doxa? Again, it's comes down to the homage part. I don't know if I can defend myself because I just went on a rant for Gino and then I'm like, oh, I want to buy this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, I mean, we're all, you know,
No,
we're all
but I mean,
hypocrites, but
Synchron has their genuine history,
yeah.
so I count that for them. But based on like from what I've heard, what I've read in the forums, their after sales service
Yeah, the
is.
intern is real sassy tonight. I'll tell you this much.
Do I know the intern?
You know the intern. You know
Okay.
him. Dib, you should feel the same way about this as
All
did
right,
you know.
all right, yeah, all right, Mr. Intern, you converted me. I'll just buy the Doxa.
It took me forever to know Hobby Baba Booey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to figure out the intern.
they're closely related.
Mm.
That's all I'll say.
I like this. I mean, I think it's good looking.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Chaz about this earlier, and I think it's the that orange minute hand kind of juxtaposed with the loom on the hour indices just doesn't it didn't sit right with him, and I see what he means.
This one? The
Yeah,
Synchron or the
yeah, it
Doxa?
just doesn't on the Synchron.
Oh,
It just
okay.
doesn't sit right
I
for me
like the
either.
Doxa better. I do.
Yeah,
Is the
and it's an
price
interesting.
different?
Well, yeah. I think the Synchron's half the price, right?
Oh, okay.
Of that Doxa that you're showing right now.
Okay.
Um,
And this uses a La Jupere movement instead
yeah,
of the
990.
standard ETAs,
Oh, okay.
68
Nine
hour power
nine
reserve.
ninety, and this one's 20. Yeah, half the price.
So 990 is the introductory price. It's gonna go up
Okay.
to like 1200 something.
Okay.
mm. It just and this is small detail, but it's just an interesting strap color um, decision
Mm.
to pair up with it. I know that really doesn't matter. You just buy a different strap, but the way they're marketing this is just like I don't know. I feel like it's a little off-putting,
Mm.
and they would have been better served with a different color strap to give it a different pop and maybe a different feel to the watch overall for me. Um,
These Doxa rubber straps are pretty nice,
yeah,
and the way it fits into the case there looks really good too.
It's the like I like the strap, but it's good for anyone with a wrist above 6.5 inches.
Which one? The Doxa?
I
Mm.
I mean the you can't cut it low enough for me to fit it on the wrist.
Mm.
Beans is saying I think the Rick Murray Synchron Doxa relationship raises the legitimacy of this watch, considering how much Rick did for Doxa. Fair
Thank you.
enough. Yep.
And also
Right.
I don't know these people who own Doxa now, but people talk bad about them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if the current owners of Doxa are kind of jerky, then it makes you want to stick it to Doxa a little bit, going with the Synchron, or at least I could see that.
Yeah. Rick Murray has, quite the resume here with resuscitating some of these brands. He did it with Doxa. He's doing it with Synchron, Aquastar. Um,
So I think where Doxa fans get annoyed at the Jenny family, who owns the Doxa company and the name, is the Jenny family gave, let's call it a lease, to Rick Murray. Said, hey, you build up the brand, and essentially he did it in the last 10-15 years, to the point where they're like, oh, you know what, now we can take over, you can go
mm.
somewhere else. I think that's where people get mad at the Jenny family. um, yeah.
Michael, a little harsh here. Synchron is the Long Island watch to Doxa. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's harsh. It's pretty harsh, Michael.
What would your first move be? 100K to spend on a watch, or
Just
more
one
than one?
watch.
More than one. You could do one, or you could do more than one. But what's your first move? Somebody gives you a dib, 100K. You got to start buying today. What's your first move?
I'd buy two watches and be done.
What's that?
I'd buy the Rolex Daytona Platinum with the baguette dials, and two, I'd get a Breguet 7027. Done.
Mm.
Mr. Legs?
Whew. That's
And
tough.
this assumes you have to do it, right? Like
Yeah.
putting it in the bank is not an option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, of course. I I
Yeah.
I I have to use the 100K, right? I have to
Yeah.
use it up.
Yeah. You don't have,
Um,
but really what's the first move? So you don't have to figure out the whole breakdown, but what's the first move that you make with this 100K?
I think I think the first move,
Tell us
um,
in the chat too. What's your first move? You get 100K to spend on watches. Tell us in the chat what's your first
and
move.
I think it's my first move, and it's not going to be the biggest move, but it's going to be the first move just to get me started, right?
Yeah.
I'd go with my favorite Rolex of all time, and I'd get a root beer.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna come up with something really beautiful high horology piece. I just have a couple in my mind that I'm thinking about which one I would go with.
Kevin
But
S says you would buy 60 mid-tier Seiko divers.
this sounds about right. That sounds about right.
The intern would buy Zeitwerk. Oh, I
You
know
know
who the
what?
intern is.
Yeah,
How did I not know who the intern was?
yeah.
All right.
You know who he is.
Now I know who the intern is. Would the intern get a Jorn to go with his Zeitwerk? Am I right about the intern?
No, you're wrong about the intern. But I know who
Really?
you're thinking. I know who you're thinking about. Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Ah, rats.
Meteorite Pepsi.
Kevin
Michael B.
says go for the solid gold root beer, but you would go two-tone?
I'd go two tone. Yeah, yeah. That's just too, I mean, I love the saga, but I want. There's a couple other pieces that I want to add, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
that would take up a bigger chunk than I'd want to.
See, it's called case. You follow case. Like the first
Keep it
thought that
simple,
came into
stupid.
my mind, I blurted out, like the Platinum Daytona with the baguette. I think that's like 80K. I think. Don't quote me on it. And like 20K for the Brigade. Done. And again, like Wolfie thought that I was lying. I'm like, I'm talking about this hypothetical scenario where somebody gives me $100,000.
This is my first move. I will get this.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of thought so,
Yeah.
especially because you love the old works.
Yeah.
In
Especially
in
these older ones. I'm
in
actually more and more loving these older ones because these newer ones are much more techy. Like, well, they don't have too many here, but I like
mhm.
these old ones. Yeah.
in the same kind of theme,
Yeah.
like I would following up the root beer, I would do like an MB&F HM5.
I get it. I totally get that. Keith, first move is a date just. Wolfie, intern is close to you in taste. Yeah, I know. Now I know who the intern is. He's a relative of Mr. Baba Booey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin S. I'd buy one precious metal Grand Seiko and have nothing left.
What's Wilson getting? Did he say?
What did Wilson? Oh,
Greg
Dan is
S.
saying he
Meteorite
Besh-
Daytona, yellow gold, green.
Vashon Everest for
Wilson.
Dan.
Nice, Dan.
Silver Snoopy for Greg S. White gold Sky Dweller. Okay.
Great choices.
1655 in great condition for Joey B. Oh, going a little vintage. Let's see. Let me try to get and something that had a nice little put in order on a Haldeman or Butlanen.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
no
brand
surprise here.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. Let's see. I'm catching up. Meteorite Daytona yellow gold green dial president. Bobby's first move. That's the wife. It was okay.
Smart.
Oh, here comes Wilson. Yeah, of course.
I think Wilson I'm wondering for Wilson, would it be Longa or Jorn? Maybe one of those two.
I think I know he likes the Zeit work, right? But I think he's going to be a Jorn guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's right. It's not enough for both, right? He would be forced to pick. It would be such a shame.
I think
Now-
he likes that Miami lifestyle.
I think he can. I think it's doable. So the Gen
Really?
1 Zeit work, how much is it? 60, 65, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
And a Chronomat Super Rain, that's like 40 grand. 60, 40, 100.
We'll give him the extra cash for Wilson.
Yeah, sure. Done.
Caliber would go Longa. Jorn is for kids. Oh.
So you're a kid.
Yeah.
I saw a Jorn. Oh, AB was he posted that he was going to do a Jorn video.
He posted a video about doing a Jorn video.
He did, I think, like one of those YouTube community posts.
Okay.
That this Jorn video is coming soon. I like the one that he picked. It's a Chronomet Souverain, but it's the rose gold with the non-guilloche dial. I like that one.
Well, folks, it's almost quitting time. Amin, you got any plans for the weekend? Any visits to the AD planned?
I'd love to have a visit. That's a good idea. Yeah, I should have a visit to the AD.
Amin, is the Rolex boutique open on Sunday?
I don't think it's open on Sunday. I can look it up for you. They call me the intern. Let me see.
You're doing the intern's job. I apologize, Amin. I apologize.
Oh, did do that.
We're gonna have
It
to.
is. It is open on Sunday, Dib. Noon to 4:45 p.m.
You want to make an appointment though, but
My brother stopped by there on Wednesday or Thursday, and he felt like he got the big time kind of cold shoulder blown off in that boutique. By
no,
yep,
no, not the flower.
the flower. Yeah, it was a shame, but
Maybe she was having a bad day.
I think he thought he was kind of got the not dress well treatment.
It was Wednesday. I mean, I don't think she worked on usually worked on Wednesdays. Maybe she had to come in on her
I don't
day
know
off.
if it was Wednesday or not, but he definitely described her. It was for sure her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
You going to be in town, Dib, on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be in Boston for the next 2 days.
You're
Monday coming back.
You're picking up your mom?
Mm-hmm.
you want to meet someplace? I mean, I don't want to take away your time with your mom, but if it's like before you meet with your mom and you have some time, I'd love to
Honey balls. Go
meet you
get some
somewhere.
honey balls.
I'll see if I can get some respite from my friend.
All right.
So I'm staying with a friend. I haven't seen him for 3 years now.
All right.
So
He
if I
just
can,
big
I'll
timed you.
definitely. Huh?
Or when you're back in town in the spring.
Yeah. So
we
I'll
should
be
get
back
you.
in the spring, and
Yeah.
I'll stay for at least a week then.
Yeah.
So
I feel
I'll
like
have a lot more time.
I feel like Dib just big timed you kind of a little bit there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
he's
He's
young.
young.
He's
Yeah.
young. He's hip.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean big time?
He's got a lot going on.
He's more younger than us, so
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got an age matched friend that he's gonna hang out with.
Yeah. Well, Amin, Dib, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Chat, thank you for chiming in. You guys were great. Appreciate it. And have a great weekend and see you Tuesday. Take care.
Yep.
See you guys.